When I got into underground hip-hop, it felt like there were checkpoints that I needed to reach. First, I got into A Tribe Called Quest, then MF Doom. After that was Atmosphere, and then Kool Keith, slowly working my way down the rabbit hole that is underground hip-hop. But the one that opened my eyes and made me realize just how deep this scene goes is when I found out about Ka. After listening to underground rap for about a decade, I couldn't believe there was an artist so talented, so uniquely skilled in writing and a mastery of the art that I had just never heard of. It was like finding the door to a new world, just when I thought I knew everything that world had to offer. Ka is one of the most thoughtful poets and writers in hip-hop right now. His status as an underappreciated icon has really bloomed in the past 10 years, but his story goes way back to the 80s, and is filled with ups and downs, with many moments where he thought that he may never rap again. But all those trials and tribulations all helped him find his voice as one of the most unique and respected artists in hip-hop. Kasim Ryan grew up in Brownsville, Brooklyn during the 70s and 80s, on a block that was riddled with crime, drugs, and violence, giving Ka trauma that he is still working through in his music today. He has stated that he uses his art to heal and says that music is therapy for him. He's wanted to rap ever since he was 8 years old and first heard Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh's Lottie Dottie. Due to the nature of his situation, he started dealing drugs at a very young age, but throughout it all he wrote raps in his notebook, using writing as an escape from his reality. In around 1989 or 1990, his older cousin who had some money saw how much writing and rap meant to Ka, so he gave him $1,000 to go over to a studio and record some music. This was the start of Ka's rap career. From those $1,000 sessions, he was able to record a demo tape. He went to City College in New York and met an artist by the name of Mr. Voodoo, a main member of the group Natural Elements. Ka ended up joining Natural Elements, and the group taught him a lot about music, primarily helping evolve his writing skills, and helping him make songs instead of just writing raps. Here's a clip from Ka from the Natural Elements era.
And next is the verbal shogun. No one escapes my barrage, putting us under pressure. You couldn't see it in a mirage, we that large. So get back, if you got half a brain, niggas act the slain. You're trying to conquer the game at the time I reign.
Now, if you're familiar with Ka at all nowadays, then you know that this sounds nothing like the style that he perfected later on. You can definitely hear the talent and potential in him, but he's definitely an artist still trying to find his voice, and he knew that too. After a few years with the group, Ka stepped away from Natural Elements because he felt that he was holding them back. That's not something that you would hear most rappers doing. He has such a humble perspective that's so rare, and I think helped him figure out where he needed to take his career later on. And I guess his instincts were correct after all, because right after he left the group, they signed to Tommy Boy. But that was far from the end of Ka's musical journey. After that, he started his own group called Nightbreed, with his good friend Kev. With Nightbreed, you can definitely hear Ka start to come into his own more as the artist that we all love today. But after a few songs and demos, the group was never picked up, and eventually the duo decided to leave the rap game behind. Ka figured that he gave it a good shot for about a decade, but he tried and it wasn't successful, so it was time to get a real job and close his book of rhymes. But that was easier said than done. As I said earlier, music is Ka's outlet. It's a part of who he is, so even when he told himself that he was done, he couldn't keep down the pen. After a few years of writing again, he figured it was time to give it another shot. Not for mainstream success, but more for the people in his life who had believed in him over the years, to give them something that they could hold on to, and let them know that his dream was real. He recorded his debut album Ironworks in around 2007 or 2008, and gifted it to the people close to him in life. And luckily, in the small world that hip-hop is, one of his friends knew a guy who knew a guy in the Wu-Tang Clan, and the album ended up in the hands of GZA. GZA immediately loved what he heard, and invited Ka to come up to the studio to record with him. Ka ended up appearing on a song on his 2008 album Pro Tools, which ended up being Hip Hop at Large's introduction to the music of Ka, and almost 20 years into his career, it was just getting started. As Ka's momentum as a rapper started to pick up, he kept his job as a full-time firefighter, which he's been doing since around 1999. By keeping his day job, Ka has not needed to rely on music to make money, which means he truly can do whatever he wants on that front, as a true artistic expression. He never needs to water down his music to be more accessible, because he's not making it to be accessible. He's making it to vent, to express himself, his stories, and his views on the world. His style is so unique. It's unassuming, kinda like a whisper of knowledge, relaying his code of morality and loyalty over these dark loops that let the lyrics melt into its seams. His lyricism is what makes him special. His rhymes are dense and intricate, with the story packed into every word. His delivery never deviates from what I describe as a monotone whisper, and that's not a bad thing. It draws your ears in, forcing you to listen over and over and over, until you slowly are able to peel back the layers of each line. In 2012, he released Pedigree, which kept his unapologetically Ka sound while making an attempt to help his music reach more fans, releasing music videos for 10 of the 11 songs, and each being directed and edited by Ka himself.
In the frozen ghetto, I closed the shovel. Either you a stick-up kid or chose to pedal. I'm so honest, show promise when I'm rhyming. I might have been, but my first vitamin was iron.
At this point, Ka was on a trajectory of improving with every release, and this didn't stop here, releasing the Night's Gambit in July of 2013. Entirely produced by Ka himself, Ka is known for crafting some of the most well-thought-out concept albums in hip-hop, and this is the start of it. The title is a reference to a gambit in chess, where one player sacrifices a piece to gain a better position. With the help of movie samples and Ka's lyricism, this album paints Ka as a noble strategist, willing to take risks in order to get ahead in life. In 2014, he released an EP with DJ Preservation called 1200 BC, and the duo followed that up the next year with the full-length collaboration album, Days with Dr. Yen Lo. The album was inspired by the 1959 book and 1962 film The Manchurian Candidate. The album is not retelling the film's plot, but rather a child of Ka's inspiration of it. After reading the book in the 90s, Ka always was drawn to the character of Dr. Yen Lo, and always wanted to use this inspiration in his music, but didn't have the right backdrop until he met Preservation, whose cinematic soundscapes is the perfect score for Ka to create with.
Fam, understand my calling. Pick this up in the land of the fallen. If what I'm rambling is boring, to the war and the famine, you foreign.
His next project, Honor Killed the Samurai, is when he entered his true artistic peak. Samurais were known to take their lives for honor, and that's how he felt about his own art. He would risk his life for the music that he was born to make, and that's exactly why he's a true samurai of rap. This is his life's calling. The album feels like watching an Akira Kurosawa film, both epic and introspective, a showcase of perfection and art at the top of its craft. Conflicted is a perfect intro, dealing with the duality of man, setting the tone for the greatness to come. He followed up that record with my personal favorite Ka album, his mythological masterpiece, Orpheus vs. the Sirens, with the producer Animos, S. Hermit, and the Recluse. This album is his clearest conceptually, and has Ka rapping his best over this sweeping anthemic production, with each track tackling a different myth from ancient Greece. I have a full video on this album that I'll link in the description if you want to hear more of my thoughts on it. His next project, Descendants of Cain, is a Ka record to biblical proportions. Like a lot of his previous work, he uses existing texts as a framework to tell his story and relay what he sees in the world. In this project, Ka takes the story of Cain and Abel from the Bible and likens it to modern day, relating it to violence present in American cities. The title of the album itself is a double entendre, saying that we are both the descendants of Cain from the Bible, as well as cocaine, which had a horrible effect on American cities, and where those areas lie now is a direct descendant from that as well. This album is a continuation of Ka's lyrical excellence, and another addition to his impeccable catalog, but he wasn't done yet. Just a year later in 2021, Ka released A Martyr's Reward. Ka is one of the most personal writers in hip-hop, but this album may be his most personal. Again speaking on his life and upbringing, but this time proclaiming his life goal to be a martyr, so that no one has to suffer the way he did going forward.
Cause of my race took hits from the start, it never staggered me. Knew I was black back then, so at 10 I had tenacity. No tracks are vacuous, my packs to do it masterfully. When them planes crashed, Ka did his task in a catastrophe. I dug in our hell when them towers fell, how dare you try to hassle me.
This one has more songs than any of his albums since his debut Ironworks, and it's filled to the brim with anecdotes of anguish, but it equates to excellence in the written form. It feels cathartic listening to Ka tell his story. He has described his music as therapy, and you can hear that in every record. And that was the last we heard of Ka until very recently. Just last month he released 2 albums on the same day, Languish Arts and Woeful Studies. 2 sides of the same coin. This isn't a double album, but the 2 are certainly siblings. I honestly have not had enough time to really give these projects the attention they deserve, but they certainly are a continuation of the personal introspection that was present on The Martyr's Revenge. I think personally I prefer Woeful Studies a little bit, but both are great, and I'm sure I'm going to be deciphering more to each of their meanings over the rest of my life listening to them, just like with all his albums. He truly makes music to grow older to. Each year I get more life experiences and gain more knowledge and come back to Ka's music and have a deeper appreciation for them every time. His music isn't for everyone, and that's okay, because most importantly his music is for him. Ka makes music for Ka and nobody else, which is I think something that we all can learn from. I tried not to go too in detail about specific lyrics in this video, because I felt like that would do Ka a disservice. His lyrics aren't meant for one person to say what they're supposed to mean. They're for Ka to know his intention, and for all of us to draw our own meaning from it. And that's the beautiful thing about the music. And as I continue to go down the rabbit hole that is underground hip-hop, I'm glad there's artists like Ka to keep pushing the boundaries and making timeless art. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been one of my most requested videos ever since I started the channel, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I got a few more artist spotlight videos coming these next couple months, so I'm super excited for that. Drop your favorite Ka line or your favorite Ka song down in the comments, and let me know if there's any other artists you want to see me cover. Thanks for watching.